What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks, and today I'm going to be talking about what is next for Jerome Valeska in Gotham. So at the end of his most recent appearance in Gotham, we know that he tried to kill Bruce Wayne, only to fail and inadvertently birth the beginnings of the Dark Knight. Now, as for where Jerome is and what he's doing now, he is currently residing in Arkham Asylum after having his face stitched back on. But the question of this video is, what's next for his character? Where can he go from here? There are a few possibilities as to how Gotham could play this out in the future. So before I go on and talk about my thoughts in this video, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to share with all your Gotham friends out there on all social media. So in an interview with Cameron Monaghan, he was asked what the future is for Jerome's character. He replied saying this: "You know, I'm not sure. I haven't been informed yet what the plan is. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to go with it, but character-wise, that's what's great about Jerome, is that a sane person, when they do something extreme, will try to wind it back. But every time he takes a step forward, he never takes a step back. He just pushes it further, he goes bigger, he goes more violent, more mean, and so obviously the next time he comes back, he's going to be trying to top himself in any way he can." Now, with this in mind, he could secretly be hiding as to what really, could happen in Season 4. As when he did get killed off, he did kind of know back then that he would get brought back in the future seasons. But maybe this time around, he really doesn't know what's in store for his character. Does this mean that they haven't really filmed any scenes of, episode 22 like many people are hoping? And if Gotham does get renewed for that 4th season, how much of him will we see in it? I think the most likely thing we'll definitely see from Jerome is him in Arkham Asylum. What we do know is that we were teased by executive producer John Stevens that Harleen Quinzel could very well be coming in episode 22. And if that is true and that is the case, it would definitely set up a really important storyline that will be fleshed out in season 4. I believe that we could possibly see Jerome in another 3-episode story arc, perhaps a little bit more than that in season 4, similar to the number of episodes the Mad Hatter has had in season 3, of Harleen Quinzel talking to him and developing a relationship, and perhaps ultimately aiding him in escaping Arkham Asylum. Now, if her character does get teased in episode 22 like we have been teased with that announcement already, then I definitely think that they can continue that in season 4 in the beginning half of the season, where we could possibly see conversations between Harleen Quinzel and Jerome being teased throughout the first half, just so they don't rush the story in, a couple of episodes. Then as that develops over a couple of months or so, that is when Jerome would have made quite the impression on Harleen Quinzel. She could then aid him in an Arkham-style prison break, and that's when we'll mainly get him in perhaps a few episodes where, as Cameron said himself, he is looking to top whatever he's done before. Now, for those of you who might be saying, but no, Harleen Quinzel is meant to be, 9 at this point, or at least younger than the Joker, or they can't be the same age. No, that can't be, that's so stupid, that's so dumb. Personally, I'm here to say it's fine. Honestly, it's absolutely fine. I personally am fully aware and have told people countless times that Gotham, while obviously holding a lot of elements from traditional Batman stories, is essentially its own canon and can tell the Batman story in a different way, while ultimately playing tribute to the legendary story that is Batman. That being how the villains are shaping Batman to rise, rather than Batman rising and inspiring the villains to come and challenge him. This can be seen through multiple Batman villains that are already existing in Gotham, while Bruce is still young. This can also be seen that if Jerome ultimately does hold the title of the Joker in Gotham in the future, that he was created in a different approach to the traditional comedian chemical vat story. Now, honestly, not anywhere was it ever said that the chemical vat comedian Red Hood origin story was canon. Now, if you did know anything about the Joker's actual origin or the way the story generally goes for him in the grand scheme of things, you would know that there is no canon or canonical, if that's even a word, story for his origin, which makes Gotham have the perfect excuse to mold the Joker and Harleen Quinzel or Harley Quinn in their own way. And I'm sure they'll do a great job of it, just like they have done with Jerome already. So with this in mind, and with Harley perhaps coming in episode 22, will she be older than Jerome? Or will she be of a similar age, perhaps 20 years old? I think that there's multiple things they can do. Sure, they can already make her a psychologist who's older, but personally I think that makes the relationship a bit too weird, with the Joker being far younger than her. I think it's a lot more likely that she'll be of a similar age and perhaps an intern at Arkham Asylum, who is allowed to sit in on sessions with Jerome, or at the very least tries everything in her power to make an excuse used to be near him on her daily duties. And why, you may ask? Perhaps she was inspired by Jerome, just like half the city was, and perhaps this is Gotham's excuse and their own way of introducing a new Harley story where she found out about Mr. J, or Jerome at this point, through the inspiration that he spread out the city in season 3. Now, in my opinion, this really isn't far-fetched at all, especially if she's already aware of Jerome like most of the city is, and that a lot of them are fanatics of him, that she would then become even more obsessed and taken with him if ever given an opportunity to see him at Arkham Asylum. Now, at the same time, we could even be introduced to a character in a completely different way we've never seen before, that she hasn't got any relation to Arkham Asylum, and that she is in the story every now and again. But personally, I don't think making or adding a completely new part to her origin story would be interesting for the fans, so they definitely need to involve her in Arkham Asylum somehow. And in so doing that, involving her with Jerome, I think that's definitely, and I'm very confident that this is the way it's going to unfold, providing they do introduce Harleen Quinzel in episode 22. So this just ties in with the question of this video: what is next for Jerome Valeska? We have already seen him in every single season, so we do know for almost a very good fact that we will see him again in season 4 if it does get renewed. My personal best way to address this storyline, especially with Harleen Quinzel being introduced or teased for episode 22, is a highlight of what I've already said in the following. So number 1, Harleen Quinzel gets introduced in Gotham season 3 episode 22, and also a possible look at Jerome in Arkham Asylum if we're lucky and if they've already filmed that, but most likely we're just going to see Harleen and maybe perhaps something to do with Arkham Asylum rather than maybe seeing Jerome in Arkham. But honestly, if we do see Jerome in Arkham, I'd take that as a huge bonus. Now number 2, throughout the first half of season 4, we may get unrelated scenes to that of the main plot, with Harleen getting involved with Jerome, possibly with the audience learning that she was one of the people who were inspired by Jerome. Cult member or not, it doesn't really matter. The cult of Jerome would be a really good Kickstarter though. So number 3, after seeing Harleen Quinzel get more and more infatuated with Jerome, she might assist Jerome break loose in Arkham. Now this would have to be throughout, near the mid-season finale point, or, just similar to what they did in the 3-episode arc in season 3, how it's, relatively episode 12, 13, and 14, because there would be a whole bunch of fans complaining if they rush this story arc. As I said, I'm perfectly fine if they introduced, this happening a bit younger, rather than in the comics of him being a fully fledged Joker and her being a full-on psychiatrist. As I said, I'm perfectly cool with them being patient and slowly unfolding it in season 4, because this is them doing it in their own way, and it still does mirror and pay tribute to the original story with Harleen Quinzel being a psychiatrist in Arkham Asylum. So at this point, this is where we could see Jerome mainly in season 4, with potentially an episode or 3 of his story. I could see this going from, instead of him escaping, it would be super freaking awesome cool if they did a story similar to that of Batman Arkham Asylum. Maybe Jerome will release all the inmates and it's up to Gordon to sort it all out. And this kind of ties in to what Cameron Monaghan said with how Jerome will be trying to top himself than what he did in season 3. So maybe before he escapes, he can do a massive, all the patients of Arkham Asylum going crazy. And maybe Harleen isn't public with it. Maybe she's, trying to play on a download that she let him go, because perhaps she's not fully fledged Harley Quinn yet. This, all of this, all these elements, all these splats of paint and different colors on the paper can definitely form a story that I can get behind. And finally, number 4, this could birth the start of a Harley Quinn Jerome / Joker relationship. So as I said, maybe Jerome could escape after this, and then he's in the wind, and Harley's story could still be intact, and she could continue as a psychiatrist at Arkham, leaving more room for her in the future to counsel the Joker after he is recaptured. At the same time though, guys, I do understand how this could be a very, very ambitious plot. And while I agree that Gotham is making its own canon, they can't jump the gun too soon. So if the latter of my 4 points don't happen, I really wouldn't be surprised or annoyed. I do definitely think that if and when Harleen Quinzel gets teased in episode 22, however, she should definitely have some interaction with Jerome that then unfolds to get explored in season 4. That much I am definitely certain of. Now, as to the reasons why I limited Jerome to only a few episodes in season 4, maybe 1 or 2 bonus ones if they're gonna, strengthen and thicken out the plot of his relationship with Harleen Quinzel in the first half of season 4, is mainly because, a lot of people keep saying, I want him to be a season regular and stuff like that, but I truly think that will never, ever, ever happen. Just because if you think for a minute, if Jerome was a season regular, and if you really don't understand what the definition of a season regular is, Harvey Bullock is a season regular, Alfred is a season regular in Gotham. You're basically in 9 out of 10 of all of the episodes of Gotham that airs in that season. And if Jerome was in every single one, first of all, it wouldn't make his character as sacred, as when he comes on screen. Eventually, the audience would not, I wouldn't necessarily say grow tired of him, but it wouldn't be as exciting to see him. This doesn't mean I'm shitting on him at all. You all know how much of a big Jerome fan I am. I'm just saying, imagine if he was in all the episodes, or at least 3/4 of him, the hype would definitely die down, and then they'd be rinsing his character, and the show would definitely, more than ever rely on his character more than ever. So by making it another 3-episode story arc, I think that could definitely pay so much excitement, and I definitely think that the show could use a couple more episodes in the first half of the season, or maybe multiple scenes, very quick ones, of him in Arkham Asylum, being random scenes, that is, because obviously there'll be like another main plot that is, casting over season 4 A and B, but just developing the whole Harleen, Quinzel and Jerome story arc up until that 3-episode story arc he gets again. But ultimately, everyone, let me know what you think. Do you have any of the same opinions that I have, or do you have a completely different way as to how you think season 4 should go? As you guys know, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts below, so be sure to post them. And if you guys did end up enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button, as I really appreciate it. And if you aren't subscribed to this channel, maybe even consider subscribing to stay up to date with all new Gotham videos just like this. Now, to all of my existing subscribers, maybe even consider joining that notification squad. All you have to do is click that bell button next to the subscribe button and tick that box that basically lets you know whenever I upload a new video, so you'll be sure to never miss out. So tomorrow, guys, is Friday, and I'm sure everyone knows that, but it is a special day because I'll be announcing the winner of the Lucky Vat giveaway, because that person will fall into the vat of chemicals, and out there will come with a shiny new autographed signed card of the person who plays Jonathan Crane in Gotham Season 1. So I'll try my best to get another Gotham video out tomorrow, so it'll be like a relevant giveaway to the video. But anyway, guys, best of luck. You still have a little bit of time to enter that giveaway in the Lucky Vat giveaway video. But as always, everybody, I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.